Hey everyone, Steve Metrics here of No Debate Sports, and we are getting ourselves set up. A little bit of a delay today, but we are here today. Definitely covering everything NBA Summer League, James Harden, some fantasy football stuff, some definite things going on here today. So a little bit tough today, but we are absolutely going to get through it. So whoever is watching today, if you want to chime in and let us know your thoughts on what's going on, hit us up in the comments. So we are definitely here to cover some stuff. So I got DJTRIGGS joining us here shortly. He's getting set up, getting his mic on, and we're taking the show on the road. So here we go. I guess some of the stuff that is going on lately is I know TRIGGS was just dropped a really cool James Harden was a YouTube video of exactly where he thinks that James Harden would be a really, really good fit. So when you get a chance, go ahead and click on that if you ever see it. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on with that. So yeah, we're getting there. Looks like TRIGGS is getting set up, and he is almost ready to join us here. So we are almost there. I know tonight is the MLB All-Star Game in Seattle. For those people who are interested in Seattle, I got some cool NFL fantasy football defensive stuff talking about Seattle, how that is one of those defenses that I actually like moving forward for your drafts. A defense that you can get at the back end of your draft, that you can get towards the very end without really having to be concerned of anyone else jumping ahead of you to grab that defense. So that's what I'm looking at there, and I'll be dropping that tomorrow morning, right around probably 9 o'clock Central. So cool stuff to go into that. But yeah, we are almost ready to go. Just want to check in on DJTRIGGS and see where he's at. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. We got some NBA Summer League action. Looks like right now we got the Phoenix Suns and New Orleans Pelicans playing. I know there is some talk about Zion Williamson possibly getting dealt with for the right price of them. So yeah, that's something interesting to look at with what the Pelicans are looking to do moving him forward, considering he's missed a lot of time. But yet the games he plays in, he has a really strong impact. So hard to say what New Orleans does with that. I mean, is another player like Anthony Davis going to force his way out? We'll see. But it seems like the Pelicans have more leverage this time than they did with Anthony Davis, considering they are moving in the right direction. They have a very solid head coach. CJ McCollum's there. You have some journeyman players that have been added in that actually play really, really well together. So the Pelicans are a really, really nice team. Looks like they set themselves up pretty well to move forward with what they're doing. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. So we got all that going on. So yeah, there's Phoenix and New Orleans playing right now. So we got some stuff going on. I know that MLB All-Star Game is going on. We can see where that's going on. But yeah, so there's some stuff going on. I guess we'll show that. Cool thing I noticed yesterday with the All-Star festivities and the home run derby was it was pretty cool seeing that you had the Julio Rodriguez break the home run derby record. And in the process of doing so, you had that drop of, it's like the Monstars scoreboard where the scoreboard is just going nonstop. And what do you know? There we go. Looks like he is here. He is ready to go. Just as I brought up the Monstars, he joins us, and there he is, DJ Triggs.
What is up, sir?
Oh, I think I got you here, man. Let me hold up. I think I might have to put my headphones in, so I got a little bit of audio.
Oh,
all right. I got that. Let me just check out my Bluetooth devices. So I'm all here. All right. You there, Triggs?
I am. I can hear you.
Triggs, you there?
Good. Yeah.
There we go. I can hear you too, bud. Good to have you.
I'm gonna turn my volume up.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Whew.
Am I coming through all right with you?
Yeah, you're good.
Good deal. Good stuff. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah. So I was talking how I was watching the home run derby yesterday, and I saw Julio Rodriguez just jacking shots left and right. And I remember hearing Jessica Mendoza and the other commentators saying that it was just like Space Jam when the Monstars started scoring points so rapidly the scoreboard couldn't keep up with them, and it just went nuts. And that's pretty much what Julio Rodriguez was doing, like every 2.5 seconds, out of there. Just wild stuff.
I didn't get to see the home run derby, so that is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I brought on the All-Star game on my TV down here, just kind of watching that. And so far, nothing. I had a little bit of NBA Summer League action. They had the Pelicans and the Suns playing, but nothing too interesting that I noticed from those guys. Whereas when I was watching the last Milwaukee Bucks game, seeing Drew Timme from Gonzaga was pretty cool to see with Milwaukee Bucks. And I know there's a lot of hype with Victor Wembanyama. I heard his second game was much better than the first game.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you catch any of that or anything?
Oh, I did. I seen both.
Okay.
The first game was you could tell he was like real timid, and he was just out there kind of going through the motions.
Sure.
And one of the things I kind of explain to people is like the Summer League is basically a bunch of just random dudes playing basketball. So they probably have like a handful of set plays, and then everything else is just like, hey, go play some basketball. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And he's been in organized ball for quite some time. So it doesn't really translate to, like, if you just took him to some pickup game, that's kind of what was playing.
Right. Gotcha. So he's been playing pretty much professionally in France for about the last 2 years.
Oh, man. Right. Like, he's been playing the top, what I think they're like, France is the second biggest league in Europe. So like he's been playing legit ball players.
Gotcha. And when it comes time in like the distant future, I know right now he's definitely not going to play with France for any like FIBA qualifications, but he would be probably part of that team with Rudy Gobert in the distant future, if he were to so choose, and that'd be quite the fearsome towers of terror, I guess, if you had him and Gobert out there.
Gobert is a lot better in Euro basketball. And like FIBA and stuff like that, because the rules are so much different. Like goaltending is a little different. Like you can knock the ball off the rim.
Oh wow.
Kind of sitting in the paint is a little bit like more lenient.
Yeah.
So
And
like,
isn't the paint more like trapezoidal as opposed to America, where the paint is rectangular?
you know what? I'm not sure.
I thought I saw that a while back. I mean, I haven't seen international competition in quite a while. And to be honest, I really don't remember seeing it back when it was the Olympics and you saw Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and all those guys playing and doing really well. But
Yeah.
I thought I saw something in the past where the international game is more like of a trapezoidal kind of 3 second paint and
Oh, it
whatnot.
might be. I just probably
Yeah.
don't remember off the top of my noggin just because my
Yeah, yeah.
brain's all over the place.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Couldn't move
Yeah,
my
it's definitely been that way.
microphone.
So for sure, I've been there too, man.
But
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
like I I I think like the summer league, you got to remember most of these guys are not going to make a roster, so they're
Sure.
going full out. Like the summer league is so bad to watch because like there'll be some dude that shouldn't even be there throwing up like 15 shots and he makes like two and
Gotcha.
you're like what is going on here? Like
Yep.
but
Exactly.
I don't know. There is a bunch of players that kind of like Champagne on the Spurs. That dude
Okay.
is a stud. Like I don't know if he plays the 1, 2, or 3, but man, he is nice, like very nice. I'm
Sure.
hoping he has like a roster spot.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
literally have lists and lists of guys where I'm just like, this dude should do something in the league.
Yeah.
But then you'll probably see the guy and he's like, oh, he just barely made the team. Wow.
Right, right. And I remember hearing the other day people say like, oh, they're kind of shocked that Drew Timmy has not been drafted. But it is understandable too. I mean, like I remember 2 years ago he was actually saying he was going to come into the NBA draft and then rescinded. Well, obviously he got wind of something that he
Yeah.
wasn't going to make it as a draftee or possibly not even make it on the roster. But seeing the style that he plays with and seeing that guy who can play really nice inside in that low post and still have that nice mid range game, I think there's definitely a fit for a guy like that. And especially for like the future of Victor Wembanyama, like he's gonna that's what made Tim Duncan great was he could play so well and have such a weird deceptive kind of style to how he went inside, but he would still have that real beautiful jump shot that was almost unguardable. And I wonder if that's what we're going to get out of Victor Wembanyama. And I wonder if you saw that in the second game that he played.
Oh, yeah. That dude, like on offense, he's pretty close to unguardable. Like
Gotcha.
if you're a slow, it's almost the Giannis effect. Like if you're a slow big, you can't guard him like off the perimeter. And then if
Gotcha.
you're a smaller, like leaner big, he can shoot right over you.
Okay.
And like there was a point when I'm sure it was in all the ESPN or like whatever highlights, but like he hit a step like he took the guy from the 3-point line, he in and out with his right hand, and then he went towards the baseline between the legs a couple times and then faded back and hit a three. Or it might
Oh
have been
wow.
long too, but it was just like you're like your jaw just dropped where you're just like, what? Like this dude is 7'3". He shouldn't be doing
Huh.
that. And even when the guy
Yeah,
when he
that's
scored on the guy, it was just like, okay, yeah, I can't guard that. What like what am I supposed to do? Yeah. No, he
yeah.
and like I said, the first game you could tell he was just kind of doing like oh, let me set some screens, let me do this. And then someone from the bench or from his coaching staff was probably like, hey, so you're in the spotlight now. This is your team. Go do some stuff. Like,
Sure.
we don't care what you do, just go do it. And that second
Yeah.
game, he was a whole different player.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
And
I mean, I haven't seen the second game highlights, But from what I saw in the first game, I was like, oh, this ain't good. This ain't right. And it's like he really has to get comfortable. He has to get adjusted. And I think once he did that, then he really started to get into his pocket and really felt comfortable doing what he was doing. But now it's to the point where it's like, yep, they've seen enough. They know what he needs to improve on. But more importantly, they know what they're trying to get with his body type. So they're trying to get him to put on muscle, to grow, just athletically, I guess. I mean, yeah, his height is what it is, but he definitely has to bulk up. And Tim Duncan did the same. When he came into the league, he was very skinny. But as time went along, he got stronger. He got more build to him, I guess.
See, in this day and age, I don't actually think that's going to be that big of a deal, because there's no real like big body centers. Like when Tim Duncan was coming in, like you still had, David Robinson was still there, and Shaq was dominating, and like Matumbos and guys like that. Like now there's probably, I don't know, like 5 to 10 centers that actually play
that have that exactly that have that size.
Yeah, and he's like I said before, they can't guard him. Like if you put a big guy on him, he's gonna torture that guy. And then once you put in that bulky, smaller center, he's just gonna like run past him. And like the dude is dunking, like he's literally dunking without jumping. Like it's
that's insane.
Yeah, I saw him catch like a rebound, and I was just like, wow. How do you stop that guy from getting rebounds? And the fact that he can bring the ball up the court, like, I don't know, it's gonna be, there's gonna be growing pains because the Spurs are horrible, but like I don't see why he can't average 20 and 10. I mean, DeAndre Ayton can average 20 and 10, and the Suns don't even want him. So
like, I don't know. And I mean, I saw a little bit of that in Arizona, but like you still saw that dominance, but you still saw a little bit of that timidness back when he was in college, and it still kind of has shown its way to Phoenix in a little bit. But yeah, like you really got to press it. I think I'm forgetting the guy's name, but the guy that plays on Memphis, that big center, that guy,
Jonas.
That guy's
Valanciunas. Or Steven Adams.
No, not Valanciunas or Steven Adams. The other guy. Man, he's big. I remember when the Bucks have played against Memphis. This guy has guarded Giannis incredibly well.
Jackson Jr.?
Jarrett Jackson, yes.
Okay.
Jarrett Jackson Jr. is awesome. Yeah. And I think he's definitely a guy who can go up against Victor Wembanyama.
But
he can have his way, I think.
But he's only like 6'8", though. Like
he's 6'8". Okay.
Yeah, I think he's only like 6'8" or 6'9". Because Steven Adams is the center.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, I don't know why I said Jonas. Jonas plays, I believe, with the who does it? Pelicans, I believe. He got traded there.
Okay.
He might actually be in Toronto. There's a lot of movement like happening with players that not to be mean to Jonas, but
yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, exactly. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a power forward. I think he's only like 6'8" or 6'9", and like Victor would literally just put his hand up over him, and there's nothing he could do, especially because he can shoot threes.
Right. I think that's kind of what people are going to start learning against a guy like that is you're going to have to defend against him a lot earlier than letting him get to the paint and then try to block a shot. I think you're really going to have to disrupt him as he's in transition before he gets there, because it's going to be like any big tight end in the NFL. Once they catch the ball at the goal line, they're pretty much getting in. And that's how it's going to be with like Victor Wembanyama. If he can throw it down anywhere close to the hoop, he's going to. And he also has comfort that if he feels like he's in a great position to take a shot, he's taking that shot.
See, this is the awesome part is I can look down at my phone and check his height.
Ah, there you go.
So
There
they
you
got him
go.
listed at 6'10" now, but I'm pretty sure he was at 6'9".
Okay, and that's for Jarrett Jackson.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson.
Okay.
Like, man, the difference between 6'10" and 7'3" is like that's a whole half a foot, like that's wow. And then on top of his wingspan, like that dude's incredible. But I don't know. I've seen so many like players in the last like how many summer league games? 3 or 4 now, because they went from Vegas to um where are they at now?
Are
Florida?
they in like Utah? I know they play some of the summer leagues in Utah. I
Man,
thought
I'm
there's some
so
in
confused now.
Texas.
But
Yeah, they kind of like move it around
I
a
know
little
they
bit.
started in Vegas, and that
Right.
was like only a handful of teams because not everybody went there.
Sure.
I have it somewhere, but I don't. It's not that important.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But like, I mean, like they were saying the same thing about Brandon Miller from Charlotte, the number 2 overall
Yeah.
pick, and like the dude, yeah, he was timid. He was used to playing organized ball where you know guys are setting up plays and they know exactly what's happening, and oh, this guy should get this many touches and stuff. Like summer league, man, it's literally 12 dudes just trying to get a roster spot. Like
It is.
10
Yep.
of those dudes are probably not going to be in the league. They're
Yep.
probably not going to be on a roster. And like
Yeah.
you got 2 dudes that are like, okay, oh yeah, they got those 2 guys. No, we don't care about them. We're just going to shoot all the shots. It's like
Right.
a guy like Brandon Miller, like it took him a couple games, but by that 3rd game, he was pretty on. But
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really know how he's gonna fit with Charlotte, LaMelo, and those guys. Like, I don't think he's as cracked up as they got him. Like my boy Scoot Henderson. Now everybody knows who he is. Like, man, when I know he left the game early, but when he started playing, you were like, oh, this is an NBA player. Like,
Okay.
and I mean, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had a G League tryout at one point, and
Oh
you
no, you
could
told me you were
tell.
and one player, but
Uh,
I didn't know G League.
yeah, I was with the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Um, we actually had some stuff at the Target Center in Minneapolis. It was super cool.
Okay.
But one of the things
Yeah.
me and my buddies that went up there, like you could tell the difference in player level just in this like tryout. And we were like, oh, okay, we're better than those guys, these guys, those guys. And like, and that's how the summer league is, where um to jump ahead, Marshawn Beauchamp, right? For the
Yeah.
Bucks.
Yep.
Like last year I was like, oh, okay, I understand why they picked him. He's long, he plays defense, but he's not really an NBA player. This year at the summer league, he is thrashing guys. Like, and I'm
Nice.
like, oh, he
Yeah.
learned a lot. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing with like the NFL. That first year, there's a lot of players where they're like, oh, all right. Second year, they make first year players look like garbage. And you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
this dude learned a lot. And Marshawn Beauchamp he needs
The
some
guy.
minutes now. Like,
Yep.
let's put it that way.
Yep. Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, that's good to see. That's a guy that from the moment he got drafted, I liked what I saw, and yeah, I think he's a guy that you absolutely need, and the Bucks need to hit on their draft picks. It's been a
Oh,
lot of guys they've drafted that have not developed, and it is why they have
oh.
the older roster that they have.
Man, that hurts my soul talking about the Bucks draft, like Joe Alexander, uh, John
Yep.
Henson, like
Exactly.
oh,
Exactly.
I'll take my Bucks hat off right now. Like their
Nah.
drafts
Nah.
for the last like 20 years have been so bad.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Andrew Bogut, Brandon
Yeah.
Jennings.
Hey, those guys were good. I like those guys. It kind of felt like the generation that was getting drafted the moment Giannis really ascended, that's where the drafting all of a sudden took its time off. I
I
don't
mean,
know. I don't know what happened during that time, but it was like, man, there's virtually nobody that's done well since
Bogut
up until now with Marshawn Beauchamp.
Bogut was the number 1 pick, and I think he was over CP3 and Darren Williams, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Way
Uh,
back when?
oh
Whoa.
man, let me, I'm pretty sure. Let me look up that
Yeesh.
draft. But like there, I mean, Brandon Jennings, there was no reason why that guy should have, like, don't get me wrong, Bucks and 6, yay, Brandon Jennings. But like
Yeah.
he put up 55 in his first 10 games. Sweet. And then what happened
Yeah.
after that? Like nobody remembers.
Exactly.
That's why we traded him for Brandon Knight. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought Brandon Jennings was okay at Texas, but I still felt that he still needed time
oh, you're
to.
talking about TJ Ford.
Oh, never mind. Wrong
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. Yeah. That was a guy too who I thought was good, but just needed more time to develop. And I mean, I was glad he was a Buck, but I just felt like he wasn't ready.
Right.
So
2005 NBA draft. Here we go. All right.
okay.
So Andrew Bogut was number 1, then Marvin Williams. 3 was Darren Williams. 4 was Chris Paul. I mean, we missed out on Andrew Bynum, Channing
Oh
Frye,
wow. Okay.
Danny Granger, Gerald Green was in that. Jared Jack, I would have even taken him by that point. David
Well, I
Lee
think
was an all-star. Yeah.
yeah. I think Bogut was kind of like the beginning though of the international wave of basketball players coming into the league. And I think back then, like the Milwaukee Bucks want to be like, yeah, we're the first ones that are going to bust out onto the scene drafting an international player number 1
Well,
overall. Kind of,
yeah,
I mean, around the time of like Darko Milicic and everything, but yeah.
but he went to Utah. Like no
Oh
one
yeah, that's right.
yeah,
That's
no
right.
one
He
should
was
ever
Utah.
be drafted from Utah. Sorry, Utah, if
Yeah.
anyone's from Utah and they're watching, but nobody should be drafted in the first round from Utah.
Unless it's football.
Yeah, well, football's getting better. I can give him that.
Yep. Yeah.
Football's
Alex
getting
Smith
better.
did all right. I give him that, and so did Steve Smith Sr. And yeah, they got some guys out there, and that program is doing all right. But for basketball, I mean, I know the women's program is really solid out there in Utah, but the men's program for Utah, I do not know that it exists.
Right. Yeah. When
So
I remember that, so I was a big Chris Paul fan when he was at Wake Forest,
sure.
in college, and because he was a bowler, and that, like, I don't
Yeah.
remember how. I think I was at like a doctor's office or something, and the
Okay.
magazines, and so I picked up the
Yeah.
magazine. And I'm like, hey, this guy's a basketball player and a bowler. This is awesome. And so,
Yep.
like, and then he was a great player, and I was like, ooh, all right, I like this guy. And then we
Yeah.
drafted Bogut, and I was like, but we need a point guard. Why did we do that?
Exactly. Yep.
My soul
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
hurt
When you
too
need
many times.
shooters, it's pretty obvious. So yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, I've seen Chris Paul doing a few bowling things over the years, way back when, and I also know of Nelly is he's basically like he averages around 200,
Yeah.
and Nelly would pretty much qualify for a PBA membership if he ever so chose.
Chris Paul he's a professional. Like, he's a USBC certified. So, like,
Nice.
yeah, he's legit. Him and Mookie Betts.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I saw Mookie Betts hit last night. Not so good at the home run derby stuff, but no, Mookie Betts is pretty awesome. So yeah, I think he's playing. Yeah, he's playing tonight.
Nice.
So
Hey, oh,
yeah,
random. To like go
yeah.
back on the videos. Yeah, I took a whole lot of notes because like my brain was just like rapid fire. Um,
Okay.
so our boy Amani Bates that got drafted. You remember I made the video with the 2 guys, him and Gigi Jackson?
GG Jackson. Yep.
Man, Amani Bates is going off in the summer league. Going
Okay.
I mean, I think he just put up 21 in the last game. Uh
Okay.
Shout out to Sam Merrill. That dude put up like 27.
Nice.
I think he played with the Herd for a while. Might have had
Okay.
a cup of coffee, which is what I'm drinking right now with the Bucks. But
There you go.
yeah, Imani Bates, like the dude is offensively just studly. Like
Sure.
he's another one of those guys where like if he learns how to play some defense, which I'm hoping Cleveland can do that for him, but Cleveland's
Sure.
also got like that double center with um Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So like
Okay.
if Imani Bates can play the 3, oh, like they got to steal. Gigi Jackson,
Okay.
I mean, not so much. I'm kind of like his last game. Now he plays with Memphis. His last game was pretty solid, but like, eh, I don't know if he'll make the squad. Like to be
Yeah.
honest, but
Yeah. For
I
sure.
mean, he's solid enough to probably make the squad. I'll take that back. He'll make the squad, but he probably won't play.
Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
some
there's
pretty cool stuff.
oh, absolutely. I mean, phew. There's literally teams with guys where I'm just like, who is this dude? Like the Warriors have a guy named like Guy Santos. That dude is like legit. I'm like,
Okay.
where did he come from? I didn't hear about him getting drafted. I didn't like the Warriors didn't say anything about him. I'm just like,
Sure.
I'm watching the game and I'm like, who is this guy being so aggressive with the ball, dunking on people? Okay,
Nice.
got to figure out his name. Yeah, I mean, the dude was he was literally either shooting threes or going to the rim, which was perfect.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I noticed the Warriors got that Brandon Podzinski
Yeah,
from Greenfield here in Wisconsin, and I saw that guy play at Santa Clara. I've seen him play a little bit of summer league, and man, that guy's a heck of a shooter. I feel like that's the guy that they think could be the future Clay Thompson, or
right.
could be what they wanted to get out of Jordan Poole but never got. I thought that guy was an excellent choice for them to take as a good sharpshooter.
Hmm. Man,
So
you know who's in good hands is Portland. Like
okay,
I
you
I
think
am
Chauncey Billups has a team?
I'm ready to watch some Portland basketball. Like believe it
Okay,
or not, not a big Dame fan. So even when Portland was playing, like, let's say it was like Portland against LA or something on like TNT, I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
okay, they're gonna lose, so whatever, I don't really care. But like
right,
now I'm like, oh, they're gonna lose, but ooh, this could be fun. Like if they're on NBA TV, I might watch.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. I mean, like if that's what you're saying is going on, I mean, maybe Lillard should stick around. And I even
No,
saw today too. No,
no,
okay.
I don't
I
want him to
mean,
be there.
yeah.
I
I mean, I don't know. I saw that the Portland management said they're willing to wait like months.
yep,
And granted, they're probably putting that out there to amp up the pressure, and I think that's really what's going on. So we'll see what goes on there, but I think they're really trying to amp up the pressure and take the best deal that they can get
yeah.
for their future.
Because like the problem is, and I showed it in the trade video that we put up, like
Yeah.
the only thing Miami can offer them is Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry. Because Dame's making like $50 million a year, and then by the end of his contract, he's making 60, which I didn't even know those contracts were out yet. But
Oh
which
wow.
kind of scares me about Giannis, to be honest. Like he's gonna make
Yes.
half the
Yes.
team's money. But in a couple years,
Yep.
the contract or the TV deals are going to go up, so it'll be fine. But like
Yeah.
with Dame, apparently, uh, I just lost my train of thought. Portland does not want Tyler Hero, and
Okay.
from what it's looking like, nobody else wants Tyler Hero. Which I mean, Tyler Hero's a Wisconsin kid, so like, I feel
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, there's always been the lack of maturity that I know has been brought up with the guy.
Yeah.
And now who knows what teams are really able to see now that they know that he broke his hand in that game against Milwaukee. So I think they're looking more at that and saying, hey, if we cannot 100% rely on that quality of a shooter, plus, I mean, he went through a phase where like he really couldn't hit the broadside of a barn shooting the
Right.
basketball before the hand injury. So, your lights go out over there,
No,
Triggs?
I have a light bulb issue down here with my
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm in my
yeah. I got one
basement
here
chilling.
too, kind of down in the corner as well. Yeah, and actually, before you hopped on with us, I mean, I probably still look like it now, but I kind of have like this ghost effect going on,
Nice.
and I'm like, all right, so now I'm pretty much like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. So we'll see if we can improve upon that next week.
Eh. But so the Tyler Hero thing. So this is my problem with Tyler Hero, right? So what position
Yeah,
does Tyler Hero play? Like
shooting
either the
guard.
2 or the 3. He's a wing, right?
Yep.
So like when you compare him to other wings in the NBA, he's not. I mean, is he a top 15 shooting guard? Probably not. Is he a top 15 small forward? Definitely not. Like,
Right.
so for the money he's making, that's why I think a lot of teams are saying no, because they either have someone that already plays his spot, like Portland. Portland has Shaden Sharp. That dude is legit, which is he's one of the reasons why I'm excited to watch. I mean, he's literally in my notes. This is all I put down. Wired to score. Like the
Yeah.
dude literally jumps out of the gym. He caught an alley oop. Well, no, it came off the
Okay.
rim and like just put it down. And I was like, his whole arm, like his shoulder and up were above the rim. And I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
this is nuts. Like,
Yeah.
and then they got Keegan Murray's from the Kings. They've got his like
Yeah.
younger brother on the
Is
Blazers.
in so his okay. So his younger brother is
I
with
think his name is
Portland.
Chris.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they both
Um,
played at Iowa, and I mean, they hung like almost 80 points a game when they were both at Iowa. Like that was one of the highest scoring teams in the country,
yeah,
day in, day out.
and
So
he can shoot out of the gym. So
nice.
then you put Scoot Henderson at the 1, put Murray at the
Okay.
2. I mean,
Yep.
Sharp at the 3. Oh my goodness! Like,
Yeah, they can
and
put up points.
yeah, and then you got why? How come every time I always forget the guy's name that they just signed to the big deal? He came from Detroit. This happened last time when we were talking to. I could not remember
Oh,
the power forward,
okay.
but with the power of the interwebs, we can
Okay.
find out. Blazers
Absolutely.
power forward. Oh my god, it has a picture of him, but it doesn't say his name. That's
Oh
horrible.
no. I'll see if I can help
I hit the
out.
depth chart. Jeremy Grant.
Okay.
Oh, and they have Anthony Simons. I forgot all about it. Like, dude, they're stacked. Like with a bunch of young
Sure.
dudes that I'm literally just like, I just want to see you play basketball.
Yeah.
And then of course Nurkic is he's no joke at center. Like he can ball. But I hear if they get rid of Dame, they want to move his contract too.
Okay. Okay.
But
So they would have even more space for possibly bringing in free agents or whatever their choice is in the future.
yeah. And I know I was telling you this before, but like the NBA, the new CBA is making it so that you have to spend 90% of your cap. So
Right.
there's a lot of people that are, especially like, the big heads on TV that are pretty upset that they signed Grant, but it's like you have to spend that money anyway. And Grant is no scrub. So like he's a pretty solid, like he's pretty close to all-star. Like he's not an all-star, but he's close. So
Sure.
if Simons hits or Scoot Henderson hits or Shaden Sharp hits, like you literally have a starting 5. And Murray coming off the bench, like that's a mean starting 5. Like
Yeah.
Any one of those dudes can go up for 20 any night.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a good roster to have, and kind of gives you that style of kind of like what the Toronto Raptors had for a little bit, where they had those guys who could score 20 points day in, day out. And
Yeah.
just having a good group of them really makes your team flexible.
I'm calling it right now. Blazers are going to the playoffs.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, you're that far in. I mean, well, and here's the thing too: is you get 10 teams into the tournament.
Yep.
And there's that means only 5 really don't qualify at all. So if you can move your team in the right direction, you can at least get in there, or you can just kind of tail off and you're Dallas. Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. Like, do I think they can beat Oklahoma City? Maybe. Like,
that is a team that I really like.
I do too.
I do too. Yeah. I love their draft picks they made last year. I actually watched yesterday. I watched a little bit of Chet Holmgren play, and yeah, that guy had essentially the kind of rave about him that now we're seeing with Victor Wembanyama, and it sucks they went down to injury. But I really like the fact that Chet Holmgren got to go through all that hype, got to go through the adversity of coming back from an injury, and just really know what it's like to be a professional in the NBA. And I think it's just going to do that guy a ton of good moving forward. And just how that team has built up draft capital, how they've really built that team. And man, to me, it just feels like in our entire lifetime, Oklahoma City, which was the Seattle Supersonics, has just always been this franchise that, granted, hasn't been good lately, but has always made sure that they're in the mix and at least has a shot to go as far as the NBA Finals. And we'll see if they start moving that way now.
Yeah. I mean, with Shea Gilgeous, SGA, like,
oh yeah, that's a player.
That dude, he's a stud. 30 points a game. Like, you can't teach 30 points a game. So
no,
I mean, Lou Dort is like an awesome defender. And then if Chet can even put up, 15, 10.
Okay, sure.
Something like that. Like,
gotcha.
That team could be really nice. Because the one thing they were missing, I can't remember who they ran into in the play-in, but like they were missing a center. They had no answer for anyone bigger than them. I think they got put out by Minnesota, right?
Yes, back in the play-in tournament, yeah, and plus back then, you had Karl Anthony Towns was playing, so yeah, I think the size of Karl Anthony Towns was a little too much for them to handle.
And Rudy.
Oh, that's right. It's so weird seeing Rudy Gobert as a Timberwolf and not as a Utah Jazz. So still not used to that yet.
Oh man, Utah's so much better without him.
That's true. That's true. And they have that young guy. I forgot his name, but yes, Kessler. That guy is really up and coming. I think did he get some All-Star votes, or I'm not sure if he got in, but there was a lot of rave about that guy qualifying for the All-Star team.
Yeah.
And plus it was in Utah, so I know people definitely would have liked to have seen that.
Wasn't it Markkanen over there that got in? Lauri Markkanen from the Bulls?
I think so. Okay.
He was a reclamation project too.
Sure.
And
yeah.
Hey, sometimes you just need a different place to play.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
That's what I mean about the Blazers, though. Like, do I think the Blazers are better than Utah? Yes. Can they beat Oklahoma City? Possibly. Minnesota? Maybe. San Antonio? Yes. Like,
I'm definitely not going to say they're better than Oklahoma City, though. I think Oklahoma City having that experience, getting back Chet Holmgren, I think that will really do them some good moving forward. And you give that team another big time name, man, I think that team can really start going in the right direction. I like Oklahoma City a lot.
I do too. I like them, but they, outside of Giddey and SGA, they don't have anyone else.
True, and they don't have the size.
Yeah,
except now they're getting Chet Holmgren. So, but they need
that
more
was
than
one
that.
of the problems. one of the
Yep.
problems was Lou Dort, like, I can't remember what team they were playing, but they literally just let him be open because he can't
Mm,
he doesn't do anything except play D and shoot decently from the 3. So, like,
yeah.
I don't know, oh, man, I'm so big on Portland right now, like, and it might be the hype of the summer league, but, I mean, Shaden Sharp was gonna play no matter what, Anthony Simons
Yeah.
is gonna play no matter what, and I think Scoot Henderson might be the rookie of the year. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I kind of like what you're saying, and like I don't know, I think stuff like that is pretty cool because it's like, all right, this is basically like Tiger Woods in his prime. Do you take Tiger Woods or do you take the field?
Yeah.
And in this case, do you really want to go Scoot Henderson in the field or do you want to go Victor Wembanyama? But I keep coming back to this fact that like they're really going to put everything in place where it is like a Tim Duncan process where it's like, man, you gotta ease him into the league. And not only that, you got to build up his. I firmly believe they will try to build up his frame, and it happens across multiple sports. I mean, these guys come to the league and they come in kind of skinny, kind of drawn, and then they want them to bulk up and thicken and be ready
Right.
to take those hacks that, especially in the NBA, like we know guys are truly, if they feel like they flat out cannot defend a player, they will foul them and force them to go to the line
Yeah.
and take it as it is from that. I mean, how is Victor Wembanyama's free throw shooting?
Oh, I mean, he's got a good form, so I
Okay,
don't think that would be an issue. Like
yeah,
like I said, his jump shot is pretty pure. I didn't really see him at the free throw line. I think he got fouled like once or twice. I can't really remember that.
okay, yeah.
Um, but
I
yeah, I don't.
heard something pretty cool that I've heard is getting proposed, or if it's in on the grapevine for the NBA rules talks. But I've heard something along the lines of like not having players fouling out of games, but
Oh,
possibly hitting a certain benchmark, and then from that point forward, it becomes a technical foul. It becomes two shots and the ball is what
oh,
they're kicking around. And I like that. I think that would be incredibly interesting. I would almost like to like bring it from 6 down to 5 because if we're going at that point, now we really need to be a little more strategic about it. Plus 5 is what it is across everything as far as I know outside of international stuff. But whether it's high school basketball or college basketball in the United States, you are playing with 5 fouls before fouling out, and then in the NBA it is 6.
right.
So I love the idea. I just love the idea of keeping stars in the game, but also having them pay the consequences for just fouling way too frequently. Getting two shots and the ball is pretty devastating, and especially when you have games where even players forget how many timeouts they have, and then they call a timeout and are granted the timeout, and then that backfires
Yeah.
against you. So I love seeing that play in where somehow a technical foul is something you use to resolve a player having way too many personal fouls.
Yeah. Like, so kind of like the flopping rule now, where when
Yep.
you flop, it's a tech plus the ball.
And is that also what they do for what is it? I forgot the terminology for it, but it's almost like a open path foul where if they
Oh,
foul a
yeah,
player and they
clear
call it
path.
open path, is that like two shots and a ball?
I think is it one shot?
I think it's one shot in the ball.
Yeah, I think
Something
so.
like that. I mean, it's obviously kind of intentional, but it's not like the worst thing in the world.
I
So
I like that
I get
rule
it.
because
Yeah,
A, you're you're messing up like the fun for the crowd. Like
and the
if
flow.
someone's got an open path, like they're gonna dunk, and that's
Yeah,
exciting. And
it
then on top of
absolutely
that,
is.
if you on top of that, if you're stopping a guy, like it's almost unsafe because some guys
Yes,
will see like that open path and they're like, "Oh, here we go," and then you get wrapped up and you're like, "Oh, okay, I have to slow down." Because when you're running from half court and there's no one in front of you, you're going full speed. You're like, "I'm
absolutely.
about to dunk on somebody." Like, so
Yeah.
for someone to
Well,
stop you, that's pretty unsafe.
yeah. Yeah, it is. And plus, I mean, you're going at that speed. I mean, you're trying to get to the rim, but you also have in the back of your mind, someone's chasing you down pretty hard. So you want
Yeah,
to get there. And if they get you way early before you even get there, yeah, that can be unsafe and it can mess up your footing. And yeah, you don't want to get hurt just making a routine play.
right. Yeah. No,
So
I don't know. I'm just kind of like I need the NBA, I guess. Like
yeah, for sure,
I
for
need
sure.
sports. No offense to baseball, but like I've been watching, the Brewers and stuff like that, being a Brewer fan. But it's not exciting until after the All-Star break when you
Okay.
know, we still have
Yeah,
what,
I've
a
Oh
lot of
yeah, you still
games.
have many, many months, and yeah, I mean, sure, we have the All Star game going on right now, but man, beyond the All Star game, it gets tough. It's you're going to be going head to head with the NFL,
Mhm.
and shortly after that, the NBA kicks in,
Yep.
college football kicks in. It's a very tough time slot for baseball to really get its showcase in the sports media world. But I don't know. It's I do kind of, I mean, I've watched maybe a couple baseball games here and there. I do like how the pace of play is. I
Oh, yeah.
also like that De La Cruz guy, Cincinnati. That guy's got kind of that lengthiness to him, and just that sweet swing of the bat is really cool. And I know that
Oh,
guy's doing some really cool stuff for the Reds.
so as a Reds hater, um, because they're like either tied or one game ahead of the Brewers right now. Um,
Right, they're right in
but
it.
I think we got two out of three against them, and we have another series coming up after the break. But I
Sure.
actually just had a battle about this. What is his name? Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
Um, with my wrestling trainer. He's probably not watching
Okay.
this, but I could probably clip this part out and send it to him. So
Sure.
he told me about some article he had read. Um, there is I don't know how to put it in like not so mean way, but there's like an agent firm type thing out there where
Okay.
they quote unquote help uh like underprivileged players, so like minor league
Okay.
players,
Sure.
and they do analytics to figure out what minor league players are gonna like be the next dude. And he just
Gotcha.
happened to be one of those that they because I can't remember where he came from or whatever. It's just not on the tip of my tongue right now. But
Sure.
basically, they will pay you a set amount. I think it was like 500,000 or 700,000 or something like that up front. And then and this is why they're in the news right now with him. And then from every year going forward, they get 10% of your contract,
Whoa, that's
which
pretty steep.
yeah, and dude's gonna blow up. So
Oh yeah.
like but then I started and this is why it was a battle with me and wrestling my wrestling guru trainer. Uh
Sure.
so he was kind of like, "Oh, well, they're stealing his money and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Well, so they do this with minor league players." I found out the average minor league player makes like 10 to 20, 30,000 a year. Like barely
Yeah.
anything to the point where they have
Oh,
to have
it's
part-time
yeah.
jobs.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep. And
"Okay."
I knew that going back. We roll back the clock 6 7 years ago. I tried out to be part of Major League Baseball as an umpire, and going through that system, it's the same thing. I know
Mm,
that umpires are paid essentially close to that as well. Plus living out of a suitcase, plus hard times, just kind of making your way up the ranks.
yeah,
It's really really tough. So yeah, De La Cruz had to give up 10% to kind of utilize the beauty of the analytics and the sabermetrics to rise him like cream to the top. But in the end, it's going to do him a lot of good in the long run, and it's going to
yeah.
help out future players like him moving forward.
And So the reason these guys are I wish I could remember what they were called. I think they were like BLA or something. But
Sure.
so yeah, they take that. Let's say it was 500,000 up front. When you're
Yeah.
only making 10,000, that's a great deal for any like up and coming ball player. That's a great deal for anybody. Like 500,000
Yeah.
just straight up in your pocket.
Yeah.
And like, so he's only making like 700,000 right now, and he's like the top prospect in baseball. Well,
Yeah.
he won't be a
Absolutely.
prospect much longer, but with his
Right.
MLB service. But it's like, wow. And then, arbitration and his contract renewal. Like, I think I looked it up, and he won't be able to sign like an actual contract for like 5 years because of so many
Okay.
arbitration years and all that nonsense.
Sure.
And so I was like, dude, 500,000 up front is probably a sweet deal. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
and
Oh,
so I don't know.
that's some good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a very
Yeah.
interesting article I was reading.
Yeah. Speaking of money, we are No Debate Sports, and we're trying to make some money. We got some things in the works, and we're experimenting here and there. If you check our link on YouTube in our description, I think it's also on the Facebook description too. But there is a link to Amazon Prime, so that's a little bit of a way for us to make a little bit of revenue here. And it's a 30-day trial. You can play around with that. Get things shipped to your home pretty quickly. You can also get Amazon Music. You can also get what else? Amazon TV, some videos, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, click that link. You'll get to try it out as you can, and it helps us out as well. So, yeah, we got some things going, and we'll definitely have more of that coming in the future for sure.
Prime Video is big, man. Like, you can watch
It is.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Nice. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh,
exactly.
Actually, man,
Thursday Night Football.
that's another one. What's that? Are you into the comic book like dudes?
Not really. I mean, hey, if right now, definitely on our link, we do have the Marvel buckle down belts. That is definitely something that you guys can see and take a look at that. I mean, I got my belts as always, but let's see if that link is still up here somewhere. Do I have it here? Somewhere around. I don't know exactly where it is, but if you want to see a really cool, dope belt and have dope belts like I wear, I'm wearing my Scooby-Doo belt today. But,
Did you show the people?
You can get all it. Now I did. Now I showed it to the people. I gave the people what they wanted, and they wanted a buckle down Scooby-Doo belt.
I'm not gonna lie.
So
people
you
have
buy
asked
more
me.
of those.
I can't make this up. People have asked me about the belts. That's why they need to be shown on every live every week.
That's This week definitely was a little bit of a hodgepodge. We definitely fired a little bit late after the racetracks opened up and let the horses out of the gate. We were definitely one of those straggler horses, but we showed. So we didn't place, but we showed. And we're going to make sure each week coming after this that we showcase those belts and we make a little money. We're playing around with some stuff, but I'm making it happen. There's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes and the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, but we got it. We got this.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have people working on it. They're over there.
Oh yeah. We have our greatest people. They're back there doing that hard work, doing some of the analytics work for us. But we're speaking of analytics. I got more analytics coming in the future in our next stuff of our podcast live simulcast thing we're doing here, and got some fantasy football stuff I'm cooking up. So I definitely want to play around with that, see what we can make out of that. And there's already some interesting trends that I'm seeing now that some of these bigger live fantasy football drafts are starting to kick off. there are some very interesting trends that are starting to happen now that even like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago when fantasy football really took off, that weren't happening. Now I'm already seeing that basically what I did last year with taking guys kind of earlier than you would normally take is now starting to come to the forefront and now is almost becoming standard. And that is definitely something I want to talk about next week.
Sweet.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I was
sir.
going to say,
so
next week is probably going to be a little slow for basketball. So I'm down for some fantasy football talk.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, we got you there. And yeah, we're working on some interesting things for more fantasy football talk, more fantasy analytics. Yeah, there's some cool things that I'm playing around with, and I know together we're gonna have some pretty dope content coming forward with this. So yeah, that's what we got moving forward. Triggs, you got any preview of any stuff you're dropping via YouTube or Shorts or anything?
I don't know. I was thinking about mixing it up this week and doing some football stuff. I was like,
yeah, there we go.
What is going to happen? Because I mean, after the summer league, like I was thinking about some summer league drops, but then I'm like,
okay,
I don't think very many people watch the summer league because they don't have the channel. So like,
that's true. That's true. You got to be hooked up with NBA channel or your ESPN the Ocho. So
or ESPN U.
Oh, it's ESPN U?
Yep. Sometimes ESPN 2 and then NBA TV.
Okay. Gotcha.
I know. I'm a weirdo.
Gotcha.
Why do I watch that stuff?
Hey, I still got DirecTV for a hot minute too, so I'm playing around with those channels for the last month until I am full blown YouTube TV. Shout out. They have not sponsored us yet, but we are in the works. We're figuring this out.
YouTube TV. See, like I know some people that have YouTube TV, and I'm not a. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't bother me very much, but they got rid of what was it? Well, Bally Sports or whatever it's called. So you can't watch baseball on there. It's kind of a pain.
Yeah, I mean, I know like the whole transition of Fox Sports Network to Bally's that kind of happened and kind of fell apart. But at least I can tell you from what I've seen on YouTube TV, it's pretty solid. And it is pretty, to me, it's got a little bit better definition. I mean, I have DirecTV as well, but I do feel the clarity is just a little bit sharper with YouTube than especially like your DirecTVs of the world. So, and plus you get NFL Sunday tickets. So, I mean, if you really want that football, like we watch here at No Debate Sports, there you go.
Lots of football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, like, and plus,
there's so much.
Exactly.
Football.
Yeah. And I definitely change up my sleep schedule once we hit the NFL season, so I can crank through all these games using NFL Plus and get you guys all the content you need to see those games, to see exactly what we're talking about.
I tell people that you don't sleep and you watch every single game, and they don't believe me, but you literally watch every single game.
Yeah, exactly. There was I think I missed 5 games last year. I know there was 1 week I missed 3 games. I had 1 week I missed 2. And maybe there was one other game here and there. Maybe it was like a primetime game that I watched that wasn't really interesting. You had the Denver Broncos in like way too many primetime games last year. So I think that was it. It was the primetime Denver against Indianapolis. That game was trash. That was straight trash. I actually had a guy at work who was this close to betting the tie in regulation at a casino, and it would have paid him like 20-1, and he passed on it. But if he would have thrown down like $20 right there, boom, that's $420 payout right there. So yeah, but yeah, that's something else too. Like we'll be doing some fantasy football stuff. We'll be talking some NFL sports bets. Yeah, now we're getting into that NFL time of year, and I think some of these training camps are going to start picking up in the next week or two. I know the New York Jets are one of those earlier training camp things. So yeah, there's definitely more players that we can start to see gain some action. And shoot, there's even guys who are still not signed, like Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins. So yeah.
That was one of my thoughts about doing a video on, was like, what teams could take both of them and actually like use them.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of teams where like they don't need a running back, but they may need a wide receiver. Then there's some
Correct.
teams where they're like they need a running back, but they don't need a receiver. Or
correct.
Like
And
for example, like the Green Bay Packers would not need a running back, but they could use a wide receiver.
yeah, they could. But essentially, if you do that, you are conceding the fact that you're basically just throwing to the side your second overall pick in Jaden Reed. And to me, like, if you're that committed at passing on him, then why did you not select Jackson Smith and Jigba in round one?
Exactly.
So you really like need to understand your direction of travel at this point. And that's where I see Green Bay is like, yeah, we're fully committed to this Jaden Reed. I saw a little bit of Jaden Reed at Michigan State. Like, that guy can play.
He can play.
I don't know if he's the Jackson Smith and Jigba kind of a player, but I do feel that like these guys, like a DeAndre Hopkins, are kind of going to try to find themselves more into the slot because of just how dominant it is in today's NFL. So it would be kind of interesting to see if there's a team that Hopkins and Dalvin Cook could both end up on. I know there was talks about that about like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, but it just all of a sudden it kind of fell apart, and that was kind of when you started to hear more of Dalvin Cook with Miami and more of DeAndre Hopkins with New England, which I still feel is trash. I don't feel anything about the New England Patriots is true at all with that. And
they're going to be the one team on my top 5.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, I see all these people on these Twitters and threads and social feeds of the world that are all raving about how good their fantasy football team is, and they took Ramondre Stevenson. Like, cool. Like, yeah, you got a really good player, but are the Patriots going to make it all the way downfield and you can score with him? I don't think so. I just think that team is trash. I like, they can play good defense and they will play good defense, but how well is Mac Jones going to keep them on the field? And I'm not going to play with players on a fantasy football team when their real team can't stay on the field. And that's exactly where my concerns are with the New England Patriots. I don't want any of those guys.
And they have to go through the NFC East. Like, that's insane.
The AFC. Yeah.
AFC. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I was saying.
Yeah. Exactly. And I saw already Bills, today, like, basically Jets, the Bills, the Jets, Miami. Miami has 2 excellent corners. I saw NFL Network this morning, Good Morning Football, showed basically Sauce Gardner is either the best corner in the NFL or the second best corner in the NFL already as a rookie. He will shut you down on every. I think the only thing that he ranked at as number 2 was yards per catch. That was it. But even like the amount of total yards that receivers have caught over the course of a season is virtually nothing. Like, nothing. He never gave up a single touchdown all season.
Wow.
So yeah, like, when you have a corner that just gets nothing his way, and anything that does come his way pretty much gets swatted down, that's when you have a phenomenal guy. And speaking of which, that is why I will be pointing out a certain Seattle Seahawk in my video for tomorrow.
You should do a video on your belt collection in the future. There's a comment. I don't know how to respond to it
I can tell you I will respond to it. Like I said, we're just in the process of getting this everything set up for like affiliated marketing. and we're getting there. And like PayPal links and all that stuff, and QuickBooks and all that good business stuff you got to do behind the scenes. We're getting there, and that train is moving today. But it needs a little bit more to it. And once I have that linked up with Buckle Down officially, then we will flat out roll that out. And that is a great idea, James. I love it. But I just have more work behind the scenes that I have to do to make that happen. Exactly.
I'm excited about that.
Yep.
I might even buy one of those belts.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything we can do to make the people happy and see some really cool stuff. That's what we're all about here at No Debate Sports, and maybe even make it where like we could even sell our own belt somehow, some way in the future would be pretty cool too. So you guys could see a belt. DJ Triggs here is a professional wrestler. He is all about wearing the belt.
Oh, absolutely. So, I have 2 belts right now. Or
really?
You don't call them belts.
Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
Maybe the next time we do one of these, I'll pull out a championship and just let it fling.
Nice. Absolutely. No, that sounds like a plan, Triggs. I love it. So that's some good stuff. So yeah, I hope those of you that stayed around to watch us really appreciate it. We ran a little late because we kind of came off a little late to the start, but I definitely want to thank you guys all for joining us. I'm Steve M3TR1CS. That's your boy Jay Triggs. Exactly.
You're pointing the wrong way. Point the other way.
Oh, wait. That way. Here we go.
Yep.
I also got like a little delay here. I got this like camera delay, so it's a little weird seeing motions happening in the past. So I know.
Do you see my tag? It says "It's your boy."
I love it. Yes, I love it. I got to do something like a numbers guy, Steve M3TR1CS, something like that. Yeah. That's how we'll do that. But also. Yeah, we're here on Yard Stream for everyone seeing us on or StreamYard. We're definitely kind of playing around with some different streaming services so we can give you guys a little cooler, fresher look, and also give you guys some really cool graphics. So in the future, when Triggs brings up certain NBA players, that he can bring up their images, bring up their analytics literally in a split second. And anything with us bringing up spreadsheets, fantasy football charts, anything like that. That's why we're kind of playing around, testing the waters on different streaming services so we can figure out which one is the best one for you guys going forward. So, yeah. So that's everything I got. You got anything else, DJ Triggs?
No, I'm just clicking things and learning stuff as we go, so it's all good.
Whoa. Yes, exactly.
Oh, I just pulled it, and we're at the end, and I just made it full screen. What is going on here?
There you go. Cool.
Did flip it so that it's like actual like mirrored images. So like if I turn towards you, I'm actually turning towards you. So that's kind of dope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I was gonna put up a background like you did, but then I
like your background.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, video games and such. What is back there? Let's just grab a random one.
Which one you got?
Madden 2006.
2006. Is that Donovan McNabb?
That is Donovan McNabb. You are correct.
Nice. That's pretty cool there. PlayStation 2. Good stuff. I mean, I've seen too, like this NBA Summer League is sponsored by NBA 2K24. So it's pretty cool. Like I would kind of hope to see something like that with the NFL in the future. I think that would really promote their the brand better, really kind of just always gain that momentum with the video game industry and whatnot. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff out there. And like I said, coming back to us with fantasy football and kind of how I'm looking at a certain team and looking at a Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, there's some good stuff out there, I tell you. Yep.
Are you
Yep.
putting some pebbles down, the crumbs?
I am certainly putting down some pebbles and some crumbs on the ground for some people to find their way to. And man, I can even tell you, like, I even went deep in our league. I went deep on the Philadelphia Eagles depth chart twice and took certain players, players that I liked. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to talk a lot more about the Philadelphia Eagles next week, along with more fantasy football stuff that's happening. So that was a good pick, Triggs, with your video game collection. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I got this weird delay and Obi-Wan Kenobi thing going on here. Yes.
No,
so we got some more things to play with.
Yeah.
Cool
stuff back there that nobody ever sees. Like,
yes,
being a secret gamer.
Exactly. Speaking of which, when it comes to gaming and streaming, with this newer streaming service we're looking at, we are looking at Twitch. Twitch is a really cool one that we definitely want to be a part of. And I know, Triggs, you got your eyes on that for some interesting stuff as well. And we'll see if we can do some cool hybrid content combining the two. I think that would be kind of cool. So yeah, Twitch is a real fun one that I'm eager to do. And once I kind of get my handle on this other streaming platform, I would love to have Twitch be a part of what we do here at No Debate Sports.
Sweet. Back.
So cool stuff.
Rocking Stitch today.
Oh, there you go. You got some Lilo and Stitch action going on there. There you go.
I do.
Cool.
I do.
So,
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. If you don't have anything else, I'm all out of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of out of stuff too, and kind of thinking of stuff for the future. But I think we got some here, so I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, I guess we'll see you all next time. So yeah, again, I'm Steve M3TR1CS. That's your boy DJTRIGGS, and I think that's No Debate. Yes, sir.
That is No Debate.
We'll see you. Yes, sir. We'll see you all next time.